Hello, I'm Dr. Andrew Allen from Midwestern State University, and that was chart number 2 for the ATSSB All-State Jazz Auditions for the 2018-2019 school year, every now and then. So the indication, first of all, you have straight 8s jazz rock. So you need to know a little something about jazz rock and that style to be able to play this. Now, there are some jazz rock people I would have you listen to. I would say Joe Zawinul, Weather Report, the Brecker Brothers, but this reminds me of something very particular. This reminds me of Earth, Wind & Fire, a great rock R&B band that had a lot of elements of jazz involved, and I think if you listen to some combination of those jazz players plus Earth, Wind & Fire, you're going to have a very, very clear understanding of how to play this piece. One thing in the style that you probably already noticed, there aren't a lot of legato markings, but at the same time I really didn't articulate a lot unless it was called for in the piece. I would really advise you to do the same thing that I just did. No over-articulation in jazz. Very rarely do we have a bunch of little normal articulations in a row. Default is kind of to slur in jazz. So I would do that if I were you. The rhythm is so important here. And just like the first chart, I think that's what's going to trip a lot of people up. You can't just try to hack your way through this without counting and without a metronome. Number one, you need to have a counting system for everything on earth. Otherwise, you're just sniffing around hoping you're right, and that's no way to live your life. So whether it's one ianda, whether it's tutte tate, whatever you use it diligently. So for each one of these little phraselets, I'd say 2, 3, 4 bars at a time, depending on what makes sense, I'd go through and count very slowly with the metronome, set on 4 or set on 2, and just make sure that you're counting in time with the met, and then try to do that same little chunk slow, maybe at 40 or 50 on the metronome, maybe at 50, 60 if you're going to the quarter. Then I would make sure that I can play it, I can count it. Do it in small chunks, gradually build it up, counting and playing. Again, there aren't a lot of things, if you know your way pretty well around the saxophone, that are going to give you headaches, aside from the counting. But it's all important. So many people are going to really mess up in that area. So you need to be diligent. Count, 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 and that is going to set you free on this one. I hope that those couple pieces of advice help you on this selection. If you have any comments, any concerns, any questions, please get a hold of me at andrew.allen@mwsu.edu or get a hold of me through my website, allensax.com. I look forward to hearing from you, and good luck.